sixth man of the year. Coach talked about it. First team all-conference and coming off the bench. What performances?
Yeah, look, you don't see too many guys who lead their team in scoring and make first team all Big 12 coming off the bench.
Anderson with a three.
He's made 182 threes in his career. Susie had it deflected and tipped around to Powell. Anderson the trailer in transition. Pruitt off the bounce. Probes. Now up top, Powell. Here's Anderson. 20 plus over the last 5. Anderson connects.
So you got to get a clean look. I mean, playing inside out, that penetration from Anderson's been good. Like Nasovic has been shut off, and he's just kind of floating out there.
Anderson hits it and a foul! In the semis, when they squared off with Jacksonville late in that game went heavy zone down the stretch to get back into it.
It's a great point. It's a 2-3 zone.
It's a 1-3-1 that North Alabama is trying to solve. They're up by 1, inside of 12 and a half to go, second half in the ASUN championship game. Joe Anderson around Williams. Shot fake underneath, he scores!
Bacchus and Susie have played really well today.
They've combined for 17 and 8 in their roles for North Alabama. Anderson off the ball screen, left alone. Anderson gets it to go. Powell, 2:15 to go. Bacchus turns it over. Anderson takes it away for 2.
By Giassi Powell not reacting to the gyrations and the movement by Lane.
Extended pressure from North Alabama. Down by 7, and Lipscomb will be deliberate here in the half court. Pruitt and Anderson. Anderson! He connects!
A Lipscomb leg. I think it was off of J.O.'s leg. Here's a 3 off the mark. J.O.'s got the rebound. Lipscomb down by 11, attacking with the ball. As we'll tick inside 13 minutes to play. Columbia, South Carolina, played at Ridgeview High School, but he transferred here as a graduate from Georgetown University. It's an 8-point lead for the Royals. Little give and go. Back to Anderson. Another 3. Can it be? 2 in a row. Put it. Ashby from the elbow. Short. Rebound, Charlie White. Could have been an over of the back right there, but no whistle.
You're not going to get any cheap calls that you might get. And again, I've seen a lot of plays really on both ends where it looks like a whistle could have been blown and nothing happening.
Joe Anderson. Jackson Pollard, the 6'7" senior out of Cedar Hills, Utah. He's a 36% free throw shooter. He's hit 17 on the year.
Yeah, he's one of those guys off the bench, 7.7 points a game. You just cannot keep your eye off anybody on this Queens offense.
Lipscomb's made a couple of little runs to get back close, but then they give it up to Queens. But not if you...
Yeah, I know Joe is hot, but, that's a possession as there's a steal, and now Joe's got a chance to tie it.
Joe will go up for the layup off a nice assist pass. Got a body, and he uses it.
Yeah, and
6'6" freshman.
He wanted a foul, too, and Mike should have gotten one there. But talk about a big bucket. Stops an 8-0 run.
But then another bucket, the mark, and the rebound to Nasovic. He's got 21 points, his average, 10 rebounds. He's got a double-double for the Bisons tonight. Two and a half to play in overtime. Tied at 72. From the free throw line, Anderson. three-pointer.
Bagbimi, second on the team in scoring at 11.1 per game. He's been in double figures both times against the Bisons.
Anderson with another three. He's hotter than a fire. And there's a steal by Joe. And the senior has come to play. Joe
Arkansas, because as a team, they're only shooting 29% this year from three-point land. So they've really struggled from downtown this year. So I don't think they want to live on the three-point line.
Anderson, he loves living out there. 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
And what we saw
another steal by Joe Anderson. I mean, that was just easy for the pick set play to do that, but the Bears failed to score with it. And so Lipscomb has it down on their end of the floor. Playing in front of their bench here in the second half. Here's Anderson for three. Just like he started the ball game. Point lead. Lipscomb led by 24 at halftime. Led by as many as 27 here in the second half. But the lead has been cut to 18 with 3:20 to play. Anasovic down low. They brought Asman in. See if he can find him. Back out to Joe Anderson. And another three. He play. Into the paint. The drive. Little hard off the glass. No good. Big rebound. Grant Asman on the missed shot from Avagaru. And Lipscomb's got the ball again. It'll probably tick inside. 5.5 to play here in the Music City. Powell, wing. Gonna drive the paint. Kick it over to Joe Anderson. It's been his night. It can rebound.
Cato, a 31% three-point shooter. He's not afraid to launch him. He's knocked down 35 this year. You want to disrupt his rhythm early in the game if you can.
Cato, the 6'9" senior out of Queensland, Australia, missed on that three. Pruitt out top. Shot clock will go to 6. He goes to his teammate, a fellow senior, and was out for the season.
Yeah, Lane Taylor, he might still be the ASUN freshman of the year. He only played in 20 games this year. If he played in all his games, I have no doubt he would have been the ASUN freshman of the year. His 17 points a game as there's another scoring right now. I mean, he was just fantastic. So that was a major blow for this Central Arkansas team.
There's the pickpocketer, Joe Anderson, with the steal and the layup.
They're number one in field goal percentage, and you look at Central Arkansas, they're dead last in field goal percentage. So obviously Central Arkansas wants to keep this a lower scoring game if possible.
Lipscomb leading 18-7 following the first media timeout of this first half. Anderson for another three.
Mikael Baris, who hasn't been in the rotation a ton. 6'3" grad student from Newport, Kentucky. He has 7 made threes for the Bisons, including that one from the William & Mary transfer, Charlie Williams, who comes down with the basketball here. Williams and Pruitt along with Joe Anderson, Ognasovic, and the Air Force transfer Kellen Boylan for Lipscomb. Not a whole lot doing for Austin Peay outside of Isaac Haney. Anderson hesitated, didn't matter.
For Austin Peay, both paints, post-ups. The closer you get to the basket, the higher the percentage. I know people love to shoot the three, but when it's not going in and it's not falling, you got to find ways to score.
Deep into the bench for Corey Gibson tonight. That was Darius Dawson, who hasn't seen much time. Anderson
over the shoulder at 6 years old, was climbing up a wall in his native Dominican Republic, and it fell on him, caused the amputation. But for that young man, it's never been about what was taken from him, but what he's been able to give to other people, and continues to give so much to the game of basketball. Got to spend about 15-20 minutes with him today after the shoot-around, as Anderson came.
Has deals with Oakley Eyeglass, also Adidas, and he's very giving and sharing.
As Anderson on a little bit.
Look at the cutting, look at the passing, and the spacing.
Anderson feeling it himself.
Charlie Williams out the ASUN logo, spins and goes in, has his shot blocked, but he'll come out with a rebound. They wanted a traveling call on get it. We get a baseline runner by him outside the arc, And he's brought his team to within one. We are just underway here in Allen Arena. Got almost 4 minutes in the book. J.O. outside with it. They'll cut him off there. He thought about going to the hoop, but doesn't. Here's Joe Anderson, pull-up three. Put it in the book for Joe. Pass from Ortiz.
Yeah, just so much of a problem, both Ortiz and Lane. Probably, you know, when you talk about the best backcourt duos, I think Lipscomb and North Alabama may have the two best backcourts when you talk about Pruitt and Anderson, and then Lane and Ortiz.
Anderson said. And there's another pickpocket, another steal for Joe Anderson. He'll go up for the layup and gets it.
You hate that it didn't drop for him, but that's already 9 turnovers for North Alabama. Again, second best in the country, only committing 9 per game, and we still got 14 minutes to go in this one.
Well, the bounces, and that's a big challenge going up against J.O. We approach the midway point of this second half. As Powell gets it back to Lanosovic and then over to Pruitt. We are inside 10 minutes to play. And Joe Anderson with the drive, lays it up and goes.
Team is backpedaling.
11-2 Eastern Kentucky's biggest lead at 9. Anderson, Kirtle's digging defensively. Had a good defensive game against the Bisons in Nashville. Anderson got it on his hip, but did not travel, and then turns and scored it. Down number 9. And Myrick point number 4.
2 big plays by Myrick on both ends of the floor. He walled up so well against Lanosovic and then comes down and gets the offensive rebound put back.
Great cut by Anderson.
Yeah. I thought it was a good call.
Foul on Blanton will be his second. Anderson drives on Buttrey with one hand.
And with Kelman out, Lipscomb's going to go a little smaller. Florida Gulf Coast does bring in Rory Stewart, who's a big body, but Lipscomb will bring in Miles White. So Lipscomb a little more perimeter oriented in this lineup.
Joe Anderson found a gap. He takes it. He drives to the bucket and gets by Stewart. Stewart gets the bucket.
Yeah, no defensive coverage that time by Lipscomb on the pick and roll action.
Lanosovic will hand off to Joe Anderson for 3. Yes, you know what to do. Put it.
But you can see what Florida Gulf Coast wants to do. They want to put pressure on Lipscomb's on-ball defense. They want to make Lipscomb, hey, can you guard me one-on-one? Florida Gulf Coast doesn't think so. They want to take it in, get some pressure inside.
Dueck's got that bucket. And there's Joe Anderson, his drive. He uses the glass. Fighting for that rebound, and they come out with it. Took it away from the lone eagle that was down there, and that was Williams. Williams working on J.O. down low. J.O. kicks it out to Anderson for 3. It's on the way. It's in the book. You're going to.
That's why he's number 1 in the A-Sun at 62% from the field.
Lipscomb got a 5-point lead and hold it for the final shot. They've struggled with this sometimes this year of holding it down for the final shot of the half. Joe this time just finds a gap and drives and gets it. He just went one-on-one. Anderson to make the inbounds. Got the ball right back, and now he's going to fire up a long 3 that's good. Put in the book for Joe Anderson. Getting the rebound. Boy, if that one had gone, I would really said he was a magician, but that one just kind of bounced away. But Ellison made a good try at it. Oh, me. He's got 6 points. Lipscomb being led by Lanosovic with 24 points and 20 for Pruitt and 11 for Powell. 3 in double figures for Lipscomb. Joe Anderson says, hey.
Homecoming. How about Bryce crashing, not forcing the issue there, right? He's picking his spots because he sees an open Leo, and Leo buries the 3, which he's gotten a lot better at since transferring from Fresno State.
39% three-point shooter this season. Here is Giassi Powell. Williams skips it. Anderson open. Answers.
Yeah, that's high-level basketball, too. How about Williams? Needing to step the best in the country and certainly the conference. He was very good this last time that they played Lipscomb as well. That's the one area Lipscomb struggles, is offensive rebounding. So the fact that you don't have Jackson Pollard out there, it's a big loss for this Royals team.
And that somewhat negates the 2 losses that Lipscomb has as well with a couple of centers. Queens is 14-2 when they out-rebound the opponent as Anderson scoops it in. How about the finger roll from Joe Anderson?
My man.
Opening possession, here's Caleb Matthews. And it's taken away. Anderson, one of the best defenders in the conference, coast to coast.
Yeah, just careless with the basketball for Lipscomb right away. There you go, 10 points off of those turnovers in the second half. So a very different ball game now.
Lipscomb did not have any points off of turnovers in the first half. 3-point game. Nosovic backs in, kick out, swing. Anderson ties it.
Yeah, after the timeout, Queens has been.
Ashby bounces in.
It's always nice to see friendly rims, which has been the case for both teams. We've seen a couple of those shooter rolls go in.
I was going to say, friendly hops on the iron today as Anderson scoots to the hoop. What a bucket.
My man, no. Yeah, that's good to see from him too, right? I mean, we've seen him now. This has been one of the better finishing at the rim games that we've seen from him certainly lately.
Anderson drops it in. The threes are falling. Real pops it from the corner.
John, that feels much needed for this Queens team. I mean, you can trade twos back and forth, but with Lipscomb hitting so many threes and Queens having only hit 1.5 before that corner three, get Jabril going, maybe get the rest of the shooters on this Royals team going. That felt like a big shot.
Here is Powell, who has 16. Williams, hands, Anderson gets the switch. Anderson turns the corner, flips it in.
Separating themselves a little bit more, coming up with some made shots on the offensive end. Queens finding a way to stick around here despite not going on a monster run of their own.
Here's Powell. Anderson, 8 to shoot. Anderson to the basket, lays it in.
Davis pushing forward now as the Bisons. Johnson inside, he goes, gets the 2 to go for Lipscomb. Davis spins, his floater off the glass is no good. Rebound made by Pruitt again.
Like you mentioned, I'd use this time right here, take a breath, get to the top of the key, run a few plays.
That's not what they're going to do.
Per game on road games. This isn't the same team that Lipscomb played a month ago up in Nashville.
West Georgia just trying to stay involved in this ball game. They sit down 4, trying to stop the momentum of these Bisons. They have been on a tear. Anderson will take a 3 of his own, and he rocks.
But really pretty. Watkins works around Powell, but misses the shot. And Nosovic is there to get the rebound for Lipscomb. They got 2-point lead in the ball now. We'll be approaching our first break. Media break under 15, under 16 that is, at the next dead ball.
J.O.'s playing without a shoe.
Well,
half. Bellarmine didn't score in that second half until around the 10-minute mark.
Lipscomb makes the still and has the ball. I'm not sure we'll see a repeat of that or not.
I don't know I'll ever see a repeat of that. That's something you don't see very often.
I'd never seen one in my life, and I really didn't see that one. I just read about it on the tickers. It was happening. And there's down to 10 on shot clock. The spin and the drive, but losing the ball is going to be Billy Smith. It's still loose on the floor, and Will Pruitt comes away with it. Nice ball movement. Joe Anderson.
He's probably the only other player who's got the most experience is Will Pruitt and Devontae Blanton playing against Eastern Kentucky. Of course, most of his matchups came when he was at Jacksonville against the Colonels.
Anderson for another 3. This one. Granny White Pike is like the Bermuda Triangle. When something goes there, it never returns, and that's where that ball went. Here's Joe Anderson for 3. Put it in the book for a shot as Joe Anderson will bring it back. And
my
they
advice
need
is
a
to
good
go ahead.
shot.
My advice is to go ahead and go. Teams always seem to wait too long to run this offense.
Anderson on the drive off the glass gets it with 3 points. Stack up for that 1 week to get everybody ready with ASUN Madness to see who's going to go to the big dance. Right now we're ready for the final 20 minutes of this one as the Colonels trying to keep it the most exciting 40 minutes in sports. Lipscomb trying to come back from a 7-point deficit here at halftime. Grant Aspen slipping in the paint, but he held his own, didn't travel. Down to 8 for Joe Anderson on the drive, puts up the high runner on third. Here's a long 3, too hard, off the mark. There on the shot by George Kimball III. Pruitt Open for a second, doesn't shoot the three, wants to drive. Still looking for his first points of the game. Here's Anderson for three. Put it in the book.
Eastern Kentucky nails the three to go back up, and that just was the storyline all night. Lipscomb had to work so hard, and then it just seemed effortlessly almost as that's going to be a goaltending
play. And Lipscomb most likely would just dribble this one out, as Coach Acuffs told him just to dribble it out. Anderson's going to drive, though, and put a layup up and get the two.
Taken away by Anderson. Foot race, he wins it.
Boy, Anderson's a fun player. That down with authority, that's right. He got bumped in there with Ignacevic. He hit the deck. Turner was all alone, and he had exactly what he needed to do.
Anderson pull up three, no doubt about it.
Boy, that turned into offense. In fact, Billy made sure of that. That's a big bucket from the youngster.
Tied at 22, Central Arkansas on a run after Lipscomb led by as many as 11. Anderson, deep three-pointer as Lipscomb makes it up. Great hands, but right to Fagbimi. McCormick from the corner, too strong. Less than a minute to play here in the first. Lipscomb leading by 3. Wild shot, maybe a pass, as Anderson wide open and nailed it. Right afternoon for Pruitt as well, just 7 points. Anderson catch and shoot off the mark. A long rebound to Ignacevic. Tough take. Wow, how impressive is Anderson? Find some offenses. They trail by 10. Should they want to pull what would arguably be a very large upset in the A-Sun. UCA back in man. Anderson. So silky smooth.
United here in Florence for this one.
Yeah, the students have really shown up. This has been one that's been circled on the calendar really since last March when these two teams had the showdown up in Nashville. And this is a fun atmosphere tonight in Florence.
Anderson on the pull-up, and the Bisons
can also shoot the ball.
And there he is in the passing lane. Fast break opportunity. And Joe Anderson
entry for Cornelius Williams to try to get deep post position, and then went to a two-man game. Lane with a good look at three, just the in and out right there, and the Bisons are the benefactor.
This offense from Lipscomb is next level. One of the tops in the A-Sun. 7 games this year, shooting at over 50%. Joe Anderson gets inside, and he gets some more.
The foul. Yes, it went out of bounds to Lipscomb, but Coach Pujol telling his team, good job. That help side team defense is going to be huge in this ball game.
Anderson working hard, and the Bisons needed that one. It's the takeaway. North Alabama on the hunt, lane behind the back. Here's Joe Anderson racing past everyone. Look at him fly back the other.
Not in the stat sheet. He's doing a great work defensively fronting in the post.
Lyndon Blank, what'd you learn in the Lipscomb huddle?
I just learned that Matt Pirouette, good terminology there. Yeah.
They're on the baseline.
Again, you'd like to be down single digits heading to this next stoppage. Anderson. Oh, that's huge.
Just helps you stay calm, know where you're at, know the time, finish at the rim. Great play by Will Susi.
Anderson quickly back the other direction.
We have some North Alabama fans. Jerry Feltz sent me a picture of 8 North Alabama fans cheering on the Lions from a sailboat in the British.
6 on the shot clock. Powell with a little dribble. This will be inside for a 2. Misses on it, but Boylan gets the rebound out to Joe Anderson. He doesn't miss.
Rhythm offensively, especially getting Jacob Ignacevic out of his rhythm a little bit offensively. They go back man-to-man after the timeout.
See what kind of adjustments Coach Lenny Acuff has in his pocket when that zone comes back.
Now they're back zone.
They didn't stay in the man very long, but
coming in the last 3 games, averaging 16 points a game. He's got 14 right now for Lipscomb. That ball missed everything but the backboard.
And then it came right over it into the breadbasket of Ignacevic. And Joe
air ball that leads to something good. Anderson, tough. Step back three, and it rattles home.
And use the size to his advantage.
That's something about Bellarmine's offense that's a little bit unique. They will post their guards consistently. Pruitt coming off the screen, whip out for Anderson, three ball, yes! Not at it, 10-second difference game and shot clock.
Big bucket there for Bellarmine.
Lipscomb will wind it late. High screen for Anderson. Stop and pop. Yes.
Had a couple mismatches, and Lipscomb, does what they do best.
Steal for Anderson. McKinney hustling. Anderson gliding for a score.
We got to have a little bit of that little slashing, driving, and then little feed off the drives to the bucket, too. See him breaking down the big guys. Here's Joe Anderson. He is going to drive. He's going to force it. And do it with three outside, one down low post and one slashing. There's a drive. Won't go. Rebound Faulkner as Lipscomb has it after the missed shot there by Griffin. There's a big skip pass over to Pruitt. He didn't shoot the three, thought about a drive, but doesn't. Here's Faulkner. Now he's going to drive and pitch back to Anderson for three. Put it in the book. Joe. Turnarounders good in the paint. Shot it from the A-Sun. Back to a three-point game. Anderson, free throw line, gets it. That's a look at it, the whistle against Will. And there goes Davis in and out with his shot. And then they battle for the rebound. And it's going to be thrown loose. And Joe Anderson gets a breakaway in the bucket. And Lipscomb
back into this game, only down by 8. Still tons of time here as that ball is blocked by Miles White.
Get that replay set. We're going to want to look at that. Here's a three by Joe Anderson. And a little three-pointer on the way. Off the mark. And the rebound tipped out. Lipscomb has it after the missed shot by Griffin. Here's Powell. He was open, doesn't shoot it, and instead gives it to Joe Williams.
Or off that first offensive possession, rather.
There's a steal made by Joe Anderson. And Joe will stop at the free throw line and nail it. What a battle down low, trying to score, but just couldn't get it. Was Colomero. You could just feel he wanted that bucket so bad. Talk about wanting a bucket. And with 16 and a half minutes to play. Bison's down to 13 on the shot clock as they work it around the outside. Joe Anderson pulls up a three, and you can pull out your pin.
Country and bigs this year, so those bigs can throw it over the defense.
So for the team that has hit the most threes in the country in North Florida, still looking for their first one to fall, but on the other side, Joe Anderson is like Liam Murphy. He's 6'7", 220. He's a forward, but he shoots the three really well for a guy that predominantly will play up front.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, a smart fella, too, transferred Columbia.
5-point game here at UNF Arena. We're kicking off A-Sun Conference play. The fadeaway three will fall. Joe Anderson in this game. North Florida with a fat goose egg. And there's another one. Anderson on the steal. And an extra.
The three, step back.
Oh,
and Jakari Spence gets the rebound, but never saw Joe Anderson. Well, KG's a key player for them. 6'7" senior, transfer from the University of Dayton.
We're getting some zone here, 2-3 zone from JU right now.
Anderson's three is good.
Still a difficult basket for them to get to.
Under 2 minutes to
Just
go in the
look
first
at the spacing that Lipscomb has for their offense.
JU back into man-to-man. Tried the zone out, but quickly went away from it. Joe Anderson. Tough teardrop floater. A-Sun Conference play as he knocks down 2 free throws. And the Dolphins are now down 9, applying full court pressure.
hate to say it, but I'm pretty certain that the South Carolina Gamecocks, I'm sure they tried to get McCray to switch to where he was going to play this last season, potential last season, but he stayed true to Jacksonville, to Coach Mincy.
Anderson's three from the top of the key is good. But Wokage skies for the rebound and gets the putback.
And that's an issue with turnovers. Turnovers take away your chance of an offensive rebound. Even with a bad shot, you have a chance to get that offensive rebound.
11 JU turnovers as Joe Anderson knocks down Borio the long three, and that's good. Enrico Borio,
all right, Brazil.
The 6'8" freshman from Brazil.
Respond by not giving up a wide open three-pointer.
And Joe Anderson, smooth like butter.
He's too athletic, too fast, and too long. Once he gets the ball that deep, like if his first catch is right on the free throw line or right inside the free throw line, he's going to get a good shot up.
Charlie Williams in the game for Lipscomb. Grant Osman finds Joe Anderson. Anderson feeling it from deep.
Wow. Well, the versatility is what's so difficult to guard with Jacob Ognasovic. You get him back to the basket down low. He's got a million moves to get you to the rim, but then from outside he can hit the three, but he also has that dribble drive that he can do as well.
Gets it down low to Faulkner. He can't do anything there, so he brings it out to Joe Anderson, who drives, spins, waves, goes. Holmes now with 9 points after a couple of made buckets here in the second half.
You got to know Giassi's getting geared up for Thursday, though.
Three on the way. Had to hammer.
Time to get open, flash open, and then found him. So I give Powell a lot of credit, and there's a nice steal that time by Joe Anderson.
He anticipated the pass. He makes the best of it.
In the air, and Williams with a bah humbug. Loof in and out for three, still looking to find the stroke this season from behind the arc. Anderson will step into a three and drain it.
It's because his shot selection has improved exponentially, shooting over 50% from the three-point line.
He is 8 of 15 from deep as Anderson is rejected, but just a step too.
Handoff action, and you just saw Mustafa just slip to the rim. Jalen Counter with the find. Boy, nice left hand there by
IA. Exhibition for the Bears and a real game for the Bisons. The ball is up in the air. The tip is up and controlled by Lipscomb. And we are underway from the Music City as Jason Creek, Kyle Bottoms, and Michael Colum be the three officials working tonight's ball game. Lipscomb immediately goes to a high post player at the top and go.
Dylan Faulkner said, you can try that other places. You're not going to try that on me. And he was really checking that one out the whole time. And there's another steal, second of the night already for Joe Anderson.
Couple of steals.
That sideline is that third defender there.
And again, boy, Anderson, he started it. They end up with a steal. He'll be at the other end to get the layup. I'm not sure they'll credit him with a steal or not. That would have been his fourth. Nice move down the baseline to get the bucket. If there would be a couple of things that might have me a little concerned as Joe Anderson goes up and gets the layup, and it's going to be a forced timeout.
Some injury problems. Here's Huff with 8 on the shot clock. And the rebound tipped out, taken by Faulkner. They lost in the ASUN semifinals a season ago on a buzzer beater to North Alabama. And Todd, this is here's the backbreaker to that story for Lipscomb. The guy who hit the shot there's the floater and the first point. And that is how quickly Chattanooga can bounce back after being down by 7 early. It's a 1-point game now.
Yeah, Bottom finally gets free and managed to punish the Bison for a slight lapse, a delayed defensive reaction.
Ognasovic kicks it out to Pruitt. Shot clock at 8. Anderson from 3 with an answer. In front by 1. Shulman leaves Chattanooga. He goes to Alabama Huntsville. The guy he replaces is Lenny Acuff, who is now the head coach at Lipscomb.
Small world populated with good people and good coaches.
Mulholland's 3 off the mark. Lipscomb in front by 1.
Chattanooga has settled in defensively. Lipscomb has as well. One of those nights where it might come down to efficiency.
Anderson's three is good.
Dives, hooks, something on the rim, just wouldn't go in.
Champion seeing his first action of the season for Chattanooga. Here's Joe Anderson in the paint, the turnaround. Left.
Seen a couple of defensive mistakes here in the last minute of play. One by each team.
Both teams 4 of 10 shooting from 3.
This is where you won't get any help here. Honor Huff is going to be challenged here by Anderson.
Anderson working. Gets the layup.
Excelled against Bryant, making those connections.
Whelan has equaled his season average of 14. Pruitt wanted to drive, gets cut off. Anderson, 4 to shoot. Anderson off the glass. Joe Anderson make.
Looking around and found an old box score from November 19th, 1973, a game when Rusty McCain played, and he also played on team with former Lipscomb president Steve Flatt, who had a team-high 28 points in that game. Harding actually took down Lipscomb by 2 in Searcy, Arkansas, 2 colleges that have a history.
Brought it up earlier, Kentucky came in with 4 players averaging double figures. Robinson just below that watermark, but 2 for Otega Owe at the free throw line. Owe now with 8, looking to join Butler and Robinson in double figures for the Cats as they lead by 24. Anderson down the lane, a little good float.
Hit the offensive boards to have a chance. Yeah, they're going to have to get it. Everyone gets away. They're going to have to get in there and try to scrape a few out because 3 on the way. Joe Anderson. I don't think he'll score 23 every night, but he'll fill it up for sure.
Yeah, he can do a lot of things. Look at him running the floor now too. He's such a versatile player. He missed all last year with an injury.
Fade away. Columbe the other way for WKU, right into the hands of Osmond. Dribbled right into him, didn't he?
Yeah, that's live ball turnovers. That's going to keep Lipscomb in 7. You got to go on the assumption you need 7 points minimum.
They get it in quickly. Anderson across the timeline, down to 20 seconds. He goes the length of the floor for an easy 2.
Yeah, and Walker, the only 4-year player right now on this Belmont roster. That just shows you the state of college basketball and transfers these days. You don't have a lot of 4-year players on a team.
Anderson for 3. Put it in the book. Jonathan Pierre with the bucket.
Great individual defense by Miles White, but Pierre silences this Lipscomb crowd and gets the Bruin fans on their feet again with that 3.
Back to a 5-point lead by Belmont. Anderson for 3. Put it in the book. Seatbelt buckle. That's all I got to say. Shot slips away. Pruitt's got it.
Lipscomb's got numbers too.
Anderson for 3. Put it in the book. Battle down low right there and force himself up. Filowich goes up and gets the bucket. Player out of Winnipeg, Canada. There's a 3 by Anderson. First 9 consecutive game. The Wofford Terriers have hit a 3-pointer in those games.
Well, but more importantly, that's a big one. They needed that one right there as Lipscomb was starting to kind of run away here. Both these coaches making their cases continually to try to get the calls in this one.
The Wrens kind of stuck in the paint, deflected away. Joe Anderson for the steal and the layup. 6'9" center for Wofford, who just a minute ago just towered over a 6'3" Giassi Powell and took it away from him on the rebound. Joe Anderson.
His physicality, balance in the air to score around the rim.
Oh, Joe Anderson's got another steal. He'll go up for the layup, and it's good. Joe Anderson, that's how that came about. Meanwhile, Marshall became the herd, I guess. Lipscomb stretched it back out now to a 9-point lead. Joe Anderson for three. Put it in the book for...
Got 10, Ignacevic with 13, and Joe Anderson with the game-high 15 right now.
Joe having a little trouble, gets it into Faulkner.
I like a little bit of a change up here. Lipscomb with the two guards in Suber and Joe Anderson, two kind of true point guards out there for the Bisons.
Joe Anderson on the drive, gets the bucket. Great passes and hits some big buckets.
Fourth assist for Joe Anderson. And
oh, there's another steal. And he's going to go up for another layup. Is that his fourth steal or fifth?
Which is a little different than his history. So I totally agree with him, and I think all the Arkansas Razorback country is excited.
Kind of waiting for the ignition to go off here in the first half. Hill with a hard landing after the basket from Billy Richmond. And he gets up limping just a bit.
He's had knee trouble in the past. I hate to see that as a current player.
His rival is the